Hello and welcome to this week's show. And this is a show where I'm able to connect to some wonderful, wonderful people in the spirit world. And today we have this remarkable person that I always love to communicate with, and that is Jesus. And he says to me that he has an important message that he wishes to share with you this week. And he's saying to me that in his life, he always knew that he had a job to fulfill. Right from an early age, he understood in his soul, in his mind, that he knew that he had a job to fulfill and that he had to help mankind understand that there is more to life than what they perhaps perceive, that there is more to life and that they need to embrace our Father God. And he always, right from a very early age, talked about how God was important to mankind. And he's saying that as he got older, he was able to show people how he was connecting to God, how he was speaking to God, and how he was a part of God. And one day, he says, God spoke to him and said, I need you to speak to as many people as you possibly can about our world, about myself, and about the light and love that needs to be spread in the world. And he's saying to me that he replied to God and said to God, but Father, I don't understand how I can do this efficiently in our world, because many people aren't always receptive to what I want to say. And he said to me, trust in me. This work will be done, and this work has to be done, and I will be there always to help you. And so Jesus is saying to me, I had to trust in God. And this was a big turning point for me, for I knew that God was always going to be with me and I was with God. That I knew that if God wanted something to happen, it would happen. And from that day on, he always had a complete trust in God. And God also, he said, always had a trust in me. So when I took the vow to work and do God's work, he's saying to me that I went into the world with confidence, knowing that God would always speak to me and speak through me and tell people the words that were needed to be spoken. One day I did a particularly important sermon that has gone down in history and has been spoken about by many scholars and many people that have studied theology. And this sermon was considered probably one of his greatest speeches that he has ever done. And he talks about the sermon that he did on the Mount. He says to me that this sermon was important for two reasons why it was important. Firstly, he said, it was a gathering of many like-minded people that are willing to spread the word. And he realized from that day on that many people were also prepared to listen to him and weren't turning their backs on him, and that he did have a great following that was going to be with him for the rest of his life on the earth plane. He says to me that the second reason was the message that he gave to all that was there. And he's telling me that his message was about love, was about the importance of love for mankind, was about the importance of sharing the heart that has been given to you and bestowed upon you from God and given to many people so that they can feel love and then in turn use the heart that has been given by God to give love to many others. Once he had completed this sermon, he then knew that this word of love and the following would continue forevermore. And he is proud to say that many people understand that he gave his life and gave his life with complete love for his Father and complete love for mankind, because he wanted to show mankind that he was pure in the light and pure in love. And he wanted to also show mankind that they too can come from the darkness to the light. He's thanking people for listening to his words and he hopes that people can gain from his message that if you have trust and faith in our Father God, and to also have love in your heart, then nothing can go wrong in your life, because your life is a path that is shone with light and part of God's wishes. So if you like this talk that I've been given by Jesus, please subscribe and press the bell so that you can get further notifications. Thank you for listening. Goodbye.